Welcome back to another week of Part My Opinion. Sitting here, we got two special guests with us tonight. A lot of times on Part My Opinion, we normally laugh and joke and it's always playing time. But sometimes we got to get into a different bag and we got to get serious. So, these two ladies sitting with us right now, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But we definitely, for this one, we had to talk about it, we had to pray about it, and we definitely had to get into, a different preparation for this episode because this one right here is going to touch a lot of hearts. It touched ours, coming into it. Even for me, I like joking about everything, but this is not a matter that I can joke about. So, I definitely had to, humble down, just prepare myself for this one, so these ladies can speak their story, and all the people out there, all the parents and everybody else out there, can feel the story as well with them once they tell their stories. So we're going to start off to the left of me. We have the beautiful Miss Cheri.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cheri Burks. I lost my son Mother's Day 2013. And the only thing that I could think about, my son told me that he had something special for me. So when I was being awakened, they told me that my son got shot. So when I get to Cooper Hospital, the only thing I can think of is this is the special that I got. This is what he had special for me for Mother's Day. And it just touched me. So I wanted to do something for other mothers that lost a child. So I started an organization. I am the founder of United Mothers Stand. I wanted this for grieving mothers that lost a child through violence. So to me, I want to give back. I want to help other mothers. No.
And then Miss Anderson.
Y'all need to stop. Let me stop. Well, I lost my son October 2013 as well. My son was killed over a girl. And when Cheri came to me and she asked me, let's start this organization, I was like, okay, I'm with it. So we decided to start it. We got it going. It was working good. When the pandemic came, it kind of shut us down, but right now we're picking back up where we left off at.
Yeah, we really want to relaunch it, because when the pandemic started, I was sick in and out the hospital. Then I got married, so not living in Camden, but living in Sicklerville was too much of running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So now people come to me, they calling me like, Cheri, what about y'all United Mothers? A lot of mothers in Camden is losing a child. Are y'all still doing something? And I love Camden. We don't really get the support that we should get because a lot of mothers in Camden is losing their sons, daughters, grandchildren. And you would think that we would get more support, but you really don't. So it's hard to, have people reach out to you and then they want you to do something, but then when you need them, is nobody there.
And you probably hear it often a lot. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you, and it fades quick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad. It's coming on 10 years, and like you said, it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
So like that's the worst hurt ever. Like, and it's like a parent should never
Have to bury
their
a child.
Right.
There's not a name for a parent that loses a child, but there is a name for everything on this God green's earth. But we don't get a name.
So we want to know: is this like only excluded for like parents that lost their children to violence, or just
A child
with
period.
lost child period?
Well,
Dealing
yeah,
with a lost child.
well, the way it started was really because of Ray. It was
Violence.
losing a child through violence, but then you find so many mothers that's losing a child, period. They need help just as well. So we extend it out to anyone.
So, so for me, right, and my thing is more so to Mo. you know, because, you know, she could share her story, but she lost her son, you know, and it's very difficult for her, you know. It was, you know, and if I'm oversharing, you can just give me the eye and I'll tell you, you know, summertime she shut down on us because she couldn't cope with it. She couldn't do with it. And it was like for us, you know, to where a lot of people may not see us as a team, it's like you always had to send a phone call out and just try to uplift and everything just to make sure, you know, that an individual was okay, you know, just to make sure it's good, because there's no such thing as a time stamp on when you're supposed to get over a situation. So when you say like people aren't there and everything, do you think it's because, you know, it's still mothers out there who maybe haven't accepted the fact that, you know, their child isn't coming back and being a part of the group is like the deciding factor to say like it's never coming? Because I believe it's still parents out there who won't accept the fact that they put the dirt on that box already.
You have
yes,
that.
you so
and
right.
You have a lot of that. You have a lot of mothers like that, and they don't know how to grieve, because you get different stages of grieving. Is I coulda, I shoulda, why didn't I? You know, why God? A lot of mothers put God in it, like God took my child. You know, I don't believe in him no more. I don't, you know, sometimes I tell mothers, you know, if you know the power of God, you know that we all gotta go sometime, because a lot of
Yes.
people ask me, how you deal with that? How you just started that and you lost a son? Then I have a son that seen my nephew get killed, where he goes through depression stage, so he tried to hurt himself. So I'm running back and forth. Really, I say I never really grieve, because I know the power of God, but my heart is, I knew the extent that we all gotta go.
One day.
Can I piggyback off of her?
Absolutely.
And I'll come right in after you.
If you want to go first, you can.
No,
First
because
you-
I want to hear what you got to say.
So, on an average day, when people be on social media and they be like, this person died, that person died, or whatever, and they never give the family that much acknowledgement to actually go through what they going through. What I'm going to say is, stop saying y'all want to be there because y'all want limelight. Y'all want to seem like y'all superior. The busiest thing in the world is when a mother or anybody has to plan a funeral. The most stressful part about it is when everybody's gone, that hurts.
Yep.
It hurts like hell, because I just sat here and guided everybody through my child's funeral, or my brother, my mother, my cousin, and then soon as the lights shut down,
That's it.
it's gone.
Yeah.
But then when they see you again, it's like, oh, you're not over it? Over what?
You'll never be over it.
You want me to grieve past what I'm going through? Losing a child? I never take away from no other death. But a month ago, somebody told me her losing her mother and her father was the same thing as me losing my child. You know, I just could look at her and be like,
Right.
Yeah, because that's not
that's
true.
disgusting.
And it's not. It's really not. This is with me. Okay. When I see my son that night, well, it was the next morning, I got a knock on my door. And I heard the radios from the cops there. And my husband said, Lisa, come downstairs. So I came. And they asked me, they said, Miss Anderson, did you have a son named Lateef Anderson? And I was like, yes. And they said, your son was murdered. After that, I don't know what was said. I didn't know. I just called the funeral home and I said, Tyrone, go get my son. When I went there and I seen my son laying on that table, my reality kicked in right then and there. I knew my baby wasn't coming back. That's why I tell, like the mothers, and like she said, and like you said, you know, a lot of women come to me, Lisa, how can you deal with that? We all got to go one day. I have a special, my son is right here. But they can't tell us when to grieve, when and where. Another thing with me, I never cried in front of my kids. My son had 4 kids, a set of twins. He got killed a month before they turned 1 year old. And then he had 2 other kids. I never cried in front of them. Not my daughters, nobody. I couldn't do that because I knew I had to be that strong handle person. I had to be that person for all of them. I had to. I had to be that person because if they see me crying, breaking down, what good am I to them?
Can
So I
cut you
have
off
to be
real
that
quick?
strong person for them.
You wanted to be that, but when was you strong? When was you strong? I'm only asking because I
It's
not the
Only
same
with
situ-
them.
Is you know
Because I did mine in the bathroom in the shower. That's when
what
I
I'm
did
getting
mine.
at to
That's
tell
where
you.
that's where most
That's-
crying.
I did mine in the
Yes.
bathroom in the shower.
That's what
That's
I'm
when I
getting ready
did
to tell
mine.
you. As a mother, you do break, and it's normally in the shower. It's normally when you by yourself.
Self.
And as us being United Mothers Stand, we had a lot of
Meetings.
mothers. When a mother lost a child, people would call us and say, "You going to a funeral? Do you know half of us mothers don't come to a funeral because of you
that,
see
yeah.
your child. You go to so many funerals where your soul is not healed. So I don't go to funerals, and we go to a mother after it's all said and done, because they say come to the house. If I come to the house, that mother don't hear nothing I'm saying, because she got 1 million people. Her mind is running and everything. So how can you say, "Oh, sorry, I lost a child and I'm going through what I went through"? You don't want to hear that right now. So normally we come after. We pray with you, and we talk to you, and we tell you, we've been in the shoe that you're in now.
I have been there, but I was speaking to one of the girls today. So my son died when he was one of the 3 angels of Camden. It was Gabby,
Right.
it was Jamil, the 2-year-old, and it was my son. The only thing between everybody else was my son had a tragic accident. Jamil, we know his story. Gabby, so when my son's story got mixed up, I was kind of mad in the beginning. It's like, why are y'all reporting that with it? Because it wasn't like that. Don't take away from the light or the shine of the other kids. And somebody made me understand, like, Mo, your son still died. He still deserves to be put out there. And I said, but it's not about that. Like, they had, and I went through it. So I understand. I do cry in the shower a lot. I do all of that. But we still have milestones on this earth, like grandchildren. How do you
Right,
deal with
yep.
with the whole factor of the grandchildren or seeing them? Is it sometimes a problem for you guys? My daughter looked just like her brother when she wants to. She don't act like him, but Lord no.
Well, one of my granddaughters is my son's niece. And her mother found in her diary a long letter that she wrote to my son when I was getting ready to get married. You know, and my son that goes through depression, you know how traumatized that is? You know, like, it had me crying when I read it. She sent it to me because it affects the whole family. And a lot of people, they don't realize that. And they said, you know, it's a time frame of grieving. Not
It's
even
never.
for the kids, it's not a time frame, because
That's
my
ignorance.
granddaughter is 14.
That's ignorance for somebody to even say that, because you don't understand it.
And that is
But
true.
I mean, even though you know they don't understand, some mothers get mad, but you can't, because you know they don't. I don't get mad because I know that they don't know how to feel, what to
speak.
say, you know, and all that. And my defense, I always throw God in it.
You have
sound
to.
like
You
my
gotta
mother.
stay
I
prayed up.
always throw
You
God
always.
in it.
Being as though we're so I'm
You
about to be
have to.
37, we're the younger crowd. So it'd be like around my age, people don't get that due to the fact of, I'm not going to say that y'all generation never led us correctly, but the way that we actually started to lead ourselves after that is the ignorance of wanting to be greater than the next person. So because by emotion, no, I want you to feel like you're less than Ev. regardless of the situations. If I'm wrong about it, just tell me. But it's never, it's like, oh, well, no, I feel this way, so it is what it is. And it's like, no, dog, like, we all going through something.
Yes.
And I always tell the people the greatest picture. God wrote your, like you said earlier, and you agreed, God wrote our book.
Yeah.
Y'all always agree on life, but soon as death comes, it's like, oh, this, no, don't do that. Because your book was written before you was even here. You just don't know the page that's going to
That's
turn,
right.
the chapter that it's
You're
going to
right
end,
about that.
and how it's going to go along. We, as
Yeah.
mothers, we just have to.
And everybody grieve different. So, and people can't tell you when, how, and where to grieve. Like, that's up to you. Now, a lot of people always say, you're strong. I am strong in my own way. But I got my, when I went to court for my son, the guy that killed my son, I stood up in that courtroom and I forgave that man. Because I knew if I didn't, I couldn't forgive myself, and I will always have that pain, that anger. I don't have it. That's what made me move on. That's what made me move on in life. Because I knew I would be upset. I knew I would have rage, all that. It took a toll on my daughter. My oldest daughter, she's just coming to herself now. From almost, it's been 10 years. And she's just getting herself back in order because she was mad at the whole world. I mean, just angry with everyone.
See, and my son is an unsolved murder. So, when it first happened, when I was going to Camden, I was looking at every stop sign, corner,
Just watching
being
it.
there. I didn't know who did it. So, and then one time I'm praying to God that he goes, or him, or how many it was. Now I just say God will handle it. My son's telling me, my oldest son, you cried, now his mom. No, it doesn't work like that. God has the last say.
God
That's
healed your
right.
heart. Because we were, so
Yeah.
my ex got killed. And it works hard on his mom. I love his mom and his dad to this day. His name is Tyrone Coleman. Juanita Coleman. And, it was crazy. And it's still like, how can y'all not solve a murder out here, but y'all out here pulling cars over left and right for 10? It be the craziest things that be going on.
Stupid, dumb stuff.
The dumb stuff,
dumbest
and y'all
things.
have never figured it out. But it's like, wow, I pulled this car over today.
Because to me, this is my opinion. I believe in Camden, they don't care about us. They don't care about our black men. No matter what our black men do, they can work, they can sell drugs, they could do whatever. They don't care. This prosecutor told me, Ms. Burks, sorry to tell you, but if you know something, your son knows something, or somebody. So I said, so you telling me you want us, the rat, which I don't know who did it, but it's your job.
They wanted y'all to find out who killed them.
Yes.
They
And
make
back
their
then, back when my kids was babies and all of that, them prosecutors got out and walked the streets, knocked on doors. They don't do that no more. I said, you sitting here with a suit on and you want us to solve your case. And they told me my son was killed in front of 3 sorts of cameras.
What is
but
up
y'all
with the
don't know
cameras?
nothing.
What is
Come
up with
on,
the
that's not
cameras?
right. The corner store, Maze, and the lights on the corners. And you tell me y'all don't know nothing? Come on, you're not going to tell me that.
It's just that they don't
They
care.
don't care. That's what I'm saying.
not
They
against
don't
the
care
police.
for our black men. I don't care. When we had Camden County cops, they used to solve murders because they knew you, they knew the friend, they knew the family, and they worked around it and they solved. Metro don't do nothing.
Metro is not. Look, I got hit by a Metro cop,
I'm
and
sorry.
it was so funny because he's from Newark, and it's like when my mom came and said, "Well, who hit you?" He was like, "I did." I said, "Oh my God, he about to start her up."
But they don't care. That's the whole thing.
So I know your faith, and I seen your strength, and for you to lose your son and say he had something special, like you might have gained that angel, and now you're a living angel, because the first sign of power or strength that you showed was you went out and see other mothers going through the same situation you went through and try to help them deal with it. Is that a coping mechanism for you in itself? And when did you found United Mothers?
And that's the funny part, because you want to know why we buried my son. I want to say we buried him. See, I'm not even sure no more when he got killed. May, I think we buried him the 16th. Something like, I'm not sure. But I started the foundation in that June, right after.
Immediately.
I went full force.
This is
right
how we
after.
started it. We
And-
both went to Philly to Peter Popoff's church service, and we met over there. And we was on the speed line, and she stopped me, and she said, "Lise, I want to start up an organization. You want?" And I was like, "Yes." We came together from
She
there.
said,
We took it
whatever
Yeah.
you want, just I'll do it, whatever you want. And that's how I grieve a lot, is doing for the mothers. Like, United Mothers is my passion, to help other mothers. And I tell people, because they say, oh, I don't want to relive it. It's not. I try to put a smile on their face.
Right.
You know, talk, let's do things. You know, let's get a grieving counselor. You know, we want to do a lot of stuff. You know, on Mother's Day, I was telling Lisa used to have parties for her son. I don't want to do a party. I don't want to give people drinks and food, everybody come together and all that. I want to help a mother put a smile on a mother's face. And every year I try to do something for the mothers. And I don't say it's from me. I don't say it's from you, you know, whoever contribute to it. I say it's from that child. And this is where is a place over Philly. It's called Food and Spa. And you just don't walk in that place. It's an inclusive place this lady had. So I reached out to her and I said, it's Mother's Day coming and I would like to do, you know, something for the mothers. I told her who I was, my organization, everything. I said it's personal to me for Mother's Day, because if our kids was here, we would get something for Mother's Day from that child. So she gave me a price. She gave me a date, May the 6th, and she had gave me that price, you know, for 15 to 22 mothers, just to be able to get a spa day with food. And just to put a smile on their face, for even if it's just one day, to let them know that you're still thought of by your child.
How can we contact you for donations or whatever that you need to get this goal accomplished?
Well, I have a GoFundMe on there for $5,000. I have a GoFundMe on my Facebook. I have a GoFundMe on my Instagram. And I also have a letter on my Facebook page, Cheri Hamilton, a Cash App.
Okay.
So we'll make sure we drop those into the description, so that way when they watch the video, they can just
see
go
it,
right
yeah.
into it, click on it, and, you know, get to donate from there. But like he said, you know, at least for me, myself, I would like to donate $200 towards the organization to help,
Thank you.
you know, the mothers
you
and
so
everything do what they have to do.
Thank
So, you know, anyone else out there, the description will be below. Anything you want to donate, it will help.
We appreciate it, though. Because normally we sell dinners, we do all kind of stuff. I do all kind.
And we do have a lot of, we did, when we first started, we had a lot of nice events.
So, you know, for me, just you saying, you know, the sell dinners part and everything, because I think when you get into an organization like this and everything, when you sit down and you talk to the mothers that, you know, come in here, the insurance purposes, how many of them didn't have, you know, death insurance? You know, when you start
We
talking
speak
about the
on that,
cost,
yes.
the cost of burying, you know, and
Yes.
everything, and even still when you do it, I guess the next step would be trying to, and it's hard to say because, whenever you get the people who will call and be like, oh, well, I just signed up for life insurance, you should get it. And a lot of people don't think about it's like, no, I'm not thinking about death. I'm not out next year.
And that's true.
So when you tap into it and you get in, you have these conversations. Like how is it with the mothers? Because I'm pretty sure, at least for my opinion, I could probably say off my head maybe 75% don't have life insurance.
You're so right.
And that's true because when Rayshawn got killed, one of my sisters, she was like, I don't mean to be smart, but do you have insurance? I said, Shelly, I had insurance ever since they was babies. I'm good. Yeah. And I tell a lot of my friends, a lot of the mothers, you need that. Right to this day, I have 10 grandkids, and I have life insurance on every last grandchild. I pay for it. And it's not the fact that the fathers can't. I say if my son is down and out one day and anything is to happen, they will be taken care of. People don't understand, but then you look at it, if you can go out to parties, you can go buy dinners, you can buy these bags and all that, you can have life insurance. And that's real important.
Most people don't understand that. My grandma taught me that when I was a kid because she had life insurance for us. So.
It's very important, very. So
because you don't want to, I don't like Aston. I ain't gonna lie, I don't. And with my son, like you said, I have it for my daughters from a little thing.
Yeah.
When my son got killed, I didn't think he would get killed. You know what I'm saying? But when it happened, my family did come, but I didn't need them. I just said, look, my nephews, they was like, Auntie, you got it. I'll dress them. I'll do this. I paid for everything. The dad, I didn't even ask him for a dime. At the end, he said, you know what, Lisa, I'll buy this tombstone. But I had it. I just have to have that. That's just something that I have to have for me and my kids.
Security.
But
that's a bill.
My kids.
If you think about your light bill, your rent, your mortgage, or whatever.
You see what I'm saying? So where would I been? He didn't have the money.
You gotta have that security in life.
Yep, and that's why I think I have it for my grandkids from Rayshawn. You know what I mean? Like now I'm at the point where I want to make sure everybody got it.
That preparation.
Yes.
Is there a meaning behind the yellow?
Yes. The meaning behind the yellow was his favorite color, and my son was killed in yellow and white. He had a yellow hoodie on with white pants, and everything I do, even when I got married,
it was yellow and
white.
It
was yellow and white. I will never, anything I do, I always use that because that keeps me a part of my son.
So here we like to appreciate what you're doing for this city and for mothers that's grieving. And on our show, we like to give people their flowers, figuratively. But today we want to literally give you some flowers.
Oh, thank you.
Because we appreciate what you do for grieving
you. I appreciate
people in general.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, for me, man, it's hard because it's like, this whole 30 minutes that we've been recording, it's like you try to hold back the emotions in order just to get through. And when you sit down and you listen to the stories and everything, it's just hard. And as us two sitting right here, as the two on this panel who haven't lost a child, it's like it's a feeling that, just hearing the pain. And, they say, men's supposed to be stronger than women. But I'm looking at the 3 strong women right here, and I don't think I will ever be as strong because my son got his tooth knocked out. I was crying, ready to beat somebody up. So for me, you get what I'm saying, for y'all to go through what y'all went through and, to say like you held your head up high, you cry in the shower, you cry when no one's around. I don't think us as men, we will be able to follow in that. See, I think we will, one, act out in rage first,
Yes.
Second, I just think the way that y'all carry it, we wouldn't be able to carry it like that. And it's amazing, that you guys have that restraint, to be able to do it. And I commend every last one of y'all, for sitting up here doing it. And, even to this knucklehead over here in the corner, I tell you, a lot of times, you have to look at people And well, the beautiful thing about people is knowing where they come from. A lot of times you don't understand the individual,
Right.
but if you know where they come from, it makes it better for you, to understand. So, as you know, Ray was how old when you lost him?
24.
20. Your son was
30.
30,
8.
8 years old. So he never.
My son never got a chance.
And
I can feel her.
That's right.
I can feel her 100%.
And that's
I can
the
feel
part. That's the part to where whenever a person questions the friendship relationship, the why you have a person back that way and everything is because of that. You get what I'm saying? Is because a lot of times you have to know with somebody because what doesn't make sense to you is not supposed to.
That's right.
We have to be here to help her get to her next journey. She's not ready to go yet. She has not found, the acceptance into it. So we have to be here to help her stand up, to hold her, to guide her into it because she's nowhere near ready yet. So a lot of times you just try to be the best friend that you can be for a person. No judgment, no questions asked and everything. And like I said, this summer she said she needed time. It was never when you coming back. It's never what's going on. She had 6 hard months out of a year.
I can't because my birthday's May 7th. My daughter's birthday's June 8th. My son's birthday's July 17th. But then my son's death date is August the 21st. I hate my birthday. Then my daughter's birthday, I'm trying. And then his birthday and then his death date. I can't.
Right.
I can't.
But the best thing for her is support.
Mm-hmm.
Love,
And
love,
pray, honey.
and
Stay
support.
prayed up. You gotta stay prayed up. 'Cause I can just see it all in her. I can see it.
The one thing I
And-
never did was ask God why.
Never
Because
question him, baby.
I never did.
Never.
I give that to Dawn. I swear to God, Dawn Marie Hill always made sure that I knew the love of God and I never questioned it. Why? Because I knew we all was going one day. But I asked, why couldn't you have took him when I had him? I was fighting for my life when I had that little boy. You could have took him then. At least I didn't know him.
You have to.
That's the only time I asked.
It's hard to say
very
it,
hard,
but
but try
God
to stay
gave
prayed
you
up.
a chance to have a part in him.
I would rather not have it. That was my best friend, the love of my life, the everything. I have to look at my daughter every day and tell her she had a breakdown the other day and being as though it's just me and her. It's kind of difficult because then she has somebody that she calls a father, but then it's like, it hurts 10 times more.
Yes.
My daughter is only about to be 11, and I'm not taking away from nobody's problems or anything. She's only about to, she was 4 and standing there when the accident happened. And she's the only reason why everybody tried to assume when the accident happened, like, oh, well, I was a bad mom. My son drowned. No, my son did not get shot. None of that. But, oh, my son drowned. Where was his mom at? Nobody never asked where their dad at, which I didn't
It's
care
still
about.
a tragedy.
It's still a
It's
truth.
still a
And that is
tragedy.
true.
My daughter had to tell detectives what happened, and that's the only reason why. No, I never have a dead Dyfus case. No, I never lost my kids. One thing for certain and 2 things for sure. I worked hard to take care of them kids in dark, light, and in between. But my daughter saved my life. And after that, I lost it. And I'm so busy still now losing it and trying to get it together and can't figure it out. Thanks for this issue, you guys.
Well, you know what you do. You pray and you ask
She has to
God
stay prayed
show
up.
you, to show you how to get through this.
Yes.
And
he
then
will.
you can call us. You can
Yeah,
talk to us.
Sure enough. You sure enough can.
What's the best way to get through it? Another mother.
Yeah, you have
because
to.
one thing for sure, when we all lost our child, we lost a part of us.
I deal with other mothers like I never went back to the hospital, so something happened and somebody they reached out to me. I never thought of myself. I just got straight to the hospital, and it made me sick to walk in the hospital, but it wasn't about me. You don't do things according to you when you know somebody else is going through pain and you have a genuine heart. Nobody gets that. No matter how angry I could be, I have that much love in my soul for other people, for them to smile and get through things, that I will not be selfish.
And this is why we formed United Mothers Stand.
Yes.
This is why we get together, and it's not a sad event.
So I'm Bino's best friend. That was my best friend before he passed away. I went to one of y'all events. So I had an amazing time with Goosey. I loved it.
That's what I'm saying. United Mother Stand is meant to put a smile on all our faces. And this is the biggest joy that I get out of it. And I know my son going, but I get it because I see other mothers smile. I'm saying I could see y'all smile just for, even if it's for that one day.
I smile. People would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Don't say sorry. I'm willing to talk about my child. I love my baby. What are you talking about?
And talk about all the good stuff.
Yes. My
It's the
son
good
was
thing.
going,
When
before
your
he
daughter
passed
go through
away,
where
he was going
she
from
goes
3rd grade to 5th grade. Baby, count it up. Yes. I love mine.
When your
I'm
daughter
honored
get like
to be
that,
sitting with you guys.
laugh about it. Talk. Soon when she get into that, when you see that she's talk about something about your son. Laugh
It's
about
different
something funny.
with my
My
daughter.
grandkids, my twins does that. And then I noticed like my two older grandkids, their dad, when he was alive, he took them out. It was just them two at first. He took them out. So when they come together, they be in that room and they giggle about, oh, well, remember daddy this, remember daddy that. That's what keeps me happy. Because then I see that they remember a lot of stuff about their dad. But I also see she went through a depression. My grandson went through a depression. Now the twins, they're 11, they're going through depression. It's just a lot. And I bring them to me so we all can talk about it. We just sit and be like, remember your dad did this, remember your dad did that, this, that, when we talk, to keep them laughing, just so they can laugh about it and think about them. Now the twins, they were 11 months, they was turning 1. But them babies still tell me they remember some of that stuff.
I was going to ask that, how
Them
is it
babies
when
still-
y'all go down memory lane with the grandkids?
That's what I'm saying. My
Like-
granddaughter is 14, and when he died, she was only like 2 or 3. So, it plays a part with all the family.
It does. Holidays, you want to forget it, but you got to be there
My
for
son
everyone.
fight depression because he can't get over that my son is never coming back. And then to see my nephew, he seen my nephew get killed first. And then 11 months later, my son gets killed.
As an adult, most times people don't pay attention to depression. People, please.
They
There's
need
people out
to.
here out crying
Yeah.
for not just help.
But
They need to talk.
You notice you see some moms that they lose a child and they become on drugs and stuff. And a lot of people laugh at her and they do this and
That was
but
their
you don't
cry. I
know,
hope they
she
wanted.
can't fight through that. She
Somebody
can't
told me
fight. She
that'd be
can't
fun.
come out of that. Yeah, she can't. She just can't come out of it. And a lot of people don't understand. Oh, it been 10 years and she
Doesn't
still.
matter.
She can't come out of it.
Somebody said that to me, I thought you was going to be on drugs. I said, I don't even get high in the beginning. What are y'all talking about?
Right.
But
They don't know that
But
pain.
no, because it does take some others there that
Really?
never got high. Yes,
And it
yes.
takes some that did get high.
Yes.
And
I
they got
thought- I
off.
thought-
Because
yeah,
you had
I
a
thought
couple
something
mothers
like
that
that.
did get high.
Yes.
No, I
And
thought
once
that would
their
be a
child
trigger.
got killed.
No, I thought that would be
it-
more
it-
so of a trigger. Not saying nothing or taking away
And
from
she has
that.
2.
Yeah,
She got
some
2
mothers-
sons
yeah, some mothers
that got
go-
taken from
yeah,
her.
it can
And now
happen.
she's in the church. She's a deacon in the church and everything.
Yes, yes, yeah.
It's crazy. People are never understanding to the word death. But when you hear it, you got to understand it.
You really do.
As an understanding in not just of parents or, like I said, grandparents or anything. If the word death is going to happen, you can't prepare for it. You don't know when it. Just don't be ignorant to it, please.
Really.
That's
For
all
real.
I'm asking. And if you say you're going to be there for somebody that's grieving, at least try.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can hurt them 10 times more that they don't have nobody to pick up the phone and
and
call
talk to you, ask you,
when they
yeah.
need. Because then when they pick up the phone and nobody, oh, my bad, I was busy. Just try. If you're going to really want to be there and be known or shown in front of other people, do it in the dark. Most times it's when I do things in the dark.
What our biggest thing was, we was trying to get phones and take them. One have it for 1 week, remember, and the other have it for
Just so
another.
we can
and
go out
just
and
so we can,
talk
if
to
you
'em.
needed to
How many
call
phones
us.
do you need? I build them from scratch. Y'all think I'm joking. I build computers, I fix phones, I do all of that. And I have about 10 phones at home
Yeah.
that just need, what do I need to do? I gotta get them on my memory board and that's it.
No, but that's what we was
Yeah.
going through, yeah.
I know when I was alone. And it was not nice. I built everybody up before my son's funeral, handled everything, and it was not cute. But then after that, it was like,
Poof, everybody be gone.
what
It is.
happened?
Yep, that's
Time
how.
is up.
I used to go to Atlantic City every Sunday. My husband didn't say anything for 2 years straight. The showboat I went there. I stayed a night every Sunday just to get out. I couldn't stay at home. I just wouldn't stay at home. If I'm home, when I'm home, all I do is think, depression. You know what I'm saying? I'd be upset. This mind would just race, and I was always gone. It wasn't. I didn't know how I was doing it, what I was doing. I don't know what my husband was doing. I didn't know anything. All I know is I couldn't be there.
I did the same thing.
I had to go. I just couldn't be
gambled
there
my
because it
little
kept.
life away.
Yep. I was out. I
It's
just
so,
could
it's
not.
just so many different ways to
Yeah.
cope with it.
Yes.
But like Bro said earlier, on here we give our flowers, but we also about connections. So wrapping this up, I just want to say this, for the women out there, the 3 women that's sitting right here. To braid a hair, it takes 3 strings of braid that you connect together to form that tie. So these 3 women right here, we gonna call this a braid. We brought you ladies up here to help her, try to get through, because it takes a team. She has us as a team, but it also takes a team who understands,
Yes.
what she's going through.
Yes.
So the message that we would like to say to every last one of y'all out there is, if you need help, contact these ladies. They have years of experience of going through this, helping people out, getting through, trying to help people get through. You just heard them say everyone has a different coping mechanism. Reach out. Have a conversation. It'll probably save a life. Until next week, we'll catch y'all.